So, welcome to another episode on my channel. Without wasting too much time, I decided to make this video outside today. I haven't made a video in the outdoors for a while, so I just decided to step it out today. The weather seems nice. If you live in the Republic of Ireland or if you know anything about Ireland, it's not always best to be outdoors. But it's nice today on a Sunday, so I decided to take it outside like I've been doing before. The weather is getting better, and hopefully the summer and the sunshine comes out pretty much soon. I've decided to make this video today because I want to demystify the wheel strategy. I've seen a few videos on YouTube recently where people are talking about wheel strategy being very risky, and it's not all rosy as people make it out to be. Yeah, that's true. It is risky. Everything is risky if you don't know what you're doing. Everything is risky if you haven't figured out a workable strategy. But it's actually a very easy way to get around the risk in the wheel strategy. So before I do that, firstly, I'm going to try to explain what a wheel strategy is. So what you're doing in a wheel strategy is you're selling puts. Some call it put call puts, and some call it the wheel strategy. But what you're doing is you have a stock that you want to buy. Rule number one when dealing with options on stocks is do not sell puts on options that you are not willing to buy. You just don't. That's rule number one. Don't be enticed by the high premium. High premium usually means high volatility. So that being said, what you want to do is you want to buy the stock, but you don't want to buy the stock outright. You want to get it at a discount. So you are going to sell put on the shares that you want to buy. And you continue to sell put on the shares until you get to a point where the price drops low enough that the shares is then assigned to you. Now you own the shares, and once you own the shares, you start selling calls on the shares. Almost the same percentage. The returns are usually almost the same. And when you start selling calls on the stock until the day it gets taken away from you, if you know anything about selling puts or selling calls, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go deep into that in this video. Until it gets taken away from you. Once it gets taken away, you start selling calls again. You start selling puts again until it gets assigned to you, and you just continue that rotation. So you start with a put, then you start selling the calls, then you start selling puts, then calls again, or you start with a call if you're already in ownership of the stock. It doesn't mean you have to start with put all the time, or selling puts all the time. So that being said, the risk in the wheel strategy or in this strategy is when you're dealing with a volatile stock. You do not deal with volatile stocks when you're doing the wheel strategy. As an options trader and a stock investor, I don't like to deal in stocks that are volatile in the first place. Some people like it, especially if you're buying calls or buying puts or things like that. You need the moment, you need the velocity, you need the stock to move, and it has to move in your direction. If the stock is not moving the way you want it to move, you're in trouble. But if you're selling, you generally don't even want it to move, so it's the opposite. So what you do is you look for stocks that are grumpy, that will not move regardless of the news. Now they will move somewhat, but not that volatile, and that's the only way you're going to get around the risk of wheel strategy. Because think about it this way: if you sell puts to obtain, let's say the stock is trading at 100, and you sell put at 90, okay? And then the stock plummets because it's a volatile stock, and it goes down to 70. It means you are good because you are in a contract to buy the stock for 90, but the current market price is 70. So it's going to be sold to you at 90, but now it's at 70, which means you're an unrealized loss of 20, although you have to put into account the premium you received for selling the puts. So let's say you received 5 for selling the puts. It means now you're down unrealized loss of 15, because that 5 has to go against the 20 of the stock price itself. I know it's a little bit of a mathematics, but I'm just trying to do an overall view. If you already know what the wheel strategy is, you know what I'm talking about. So say it's now down 70. When you want to start selling calls on it, if you try to sell calls for 90, which is what you bought it for, you might not get a lot because from 90 to 70 is a whole lot of distance. And one thing in options is the further away your strike price is from the current price, the less in premium you're going to get. So if you try to sell it for 90, you might not get much. So what you want to try to do is sell it for, say, 80. Okay, you sell the call for 80 and you hope it doesn't shoot up again past 80, because if it shoots up past 80, then it means you have to then sell it for 80, but you bought it for 90. Now you're selling it for 80, which means you're down 10. Your portfolio size is down 10. However, you can always roll forward, which means you buy back the contract and set the strike price for higher. But usually when you buy back the contract, it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than what you sold it for. So you're going to have some losses there again. And then you sell it for 90 or you sell it for 95 or something like that. And then if it gets taken away at that stage, then it's all good. But that's the risk in the wheel strategy. You don't want a stock that's going up and down like a yo-yo. You want a grumpy, lazy stock that won't move. Dividend kings or dividend aristocrats will be very good for this kind of a strategy. I don't recommend stocks, individual stocks. Again, I recommend ETFs, indexes, if you can afford them. Now, not all ETFs are built the same. You have to do a little bit of research, but it's a whole lot safer than just stocks in itself. So that's what I intend to, that was what this video was about, just on an insight into, because my my Russell 2000 that I just bought. Yeah, let me give you an update on that. So the last time I made a video, I said I have made about $80 on my position. And as at today makes it about 2 weeks since I went into long position, or since I obtained that portfolio, that Russell 2000. And I did the calculation today and I'm at 141. So in about 2 weeks, I'm in 141, which means if I project that, a month should be about 280. And if it does well, 300. And that's not bad. And that's for only the Russell 2000. I've been selling puts on, you remember I said I had to liquidate all my positions in order to get the Russell 2000. Now I've been selling puts on my SPXU, and it just got assigned to me today. No, over this weekend. Today, Sunday, got assigned to me yesterday, Saturday. And now I'm going to have Russell 2000. I'm going to have my SPXU back. The thing is, I sold the SPXU. I bought it for 1,600 thereabout. And 1,007 thereabout. And then I sold it for, when I liquidated it to get this one, I sold it for 1,540. But then I've been selling puts on it, and now I'm buying it back for 1,450, which is less than, although I made an initial little loss on it when I sold it initially, but now I'm buying it for less than I sold it for. So it's all good. As soon as I get it back now, from tomorrow, I start selling calls on it again to keep buffering the position like I did the whole of last year that protected my portfolio. Now, who knows? The market might change. Anything might happen. But in the meantime, this is what it is. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, that's up to you. If you want to like, that's up to you. I'm not making this video for money. I'm not making it for followers. If it's anything, I'm making it for anyone who, because most videos you hear people talking about when you want to be rich and you're wealthy or financially free and you're investing in the stock market. The strategy they give is usually really long-term strategies, and it's for people earning a really decent amount of money. But if you're earning the average amount of money and you don't want to wait 20, 15 years to start reaping the fruits of your labor, it's what I'm doing, and it's not too late. Just if this is some sort of motivation for anybody, I'll make another video. I'm not trying to make this one long. I'll make another video next time about somebody that put a post on a property group that I was following, and she was saying something about not being able to network because she has anxiety problems, but she wants to be in the property industry and things like that. But everything she talked about will not work for her because her personality does not go in that field. So I would think doing something like stocks or Forex or whatever would be something that would benefit her, since you can do it alone without anybody. So I'll leave it there for now, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Sayonara.